I'm under a different sink, another water leak problem. There's the gate valves and here's the extension piece, and you notice I've got it disconnected right now. That's because where it goes, you see that up there? Yeah, right there. It was leaking around there. And you see remnants of Teflon tape around that. Now this type of fitting that's here, normally you don't have a plastic nut with a connection like that hooked up to a sink. Usually that's a brass nut right there, but in this case it's plastic, and it was dripping around that. So, you know, you can only tighten those up so tight. And I don't want to crack that nut, so because it had Teflon tape from there before, I'm going to wrap some more Teflon tape around there and then re-tighten up this plastic nut, and I think that's going to take care of this leak as well. You know, good old Teflon tape comes to the rescue again. I think that worked out pretty good. I tightened that up, and incidentally, when you put that Teflon tape on, it's really important that you put it on nice and flat. Don't let it get all curled up and then just kind of wrap it around there and have it not work properly, okay? And because that was a plastic nut, see the little ears on it? I tightened that up as hard as I could with my finger and my thumb, and then I just took a little pair of pliers, you know, this red handle pliers here, and I gave it about a quarter turn, you know, just to tighten it and snug it just a hair more. I don't want to overdo it because I could crack that nut, okay? Once I've got it where I think it needs to be, then I can run water through it, which I am right now, and check for leaks. If it's still dripping, then I could take my pliers again and tighten it another 1/8 of a turn, you know, then check it again. Back and forth until you've got it fixed. You can do it. I know you can. Hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Don't get too big-headed to think you're so proud that that doesn't work anymore and call this whole job good. Because while you're down here, you might as well check everything else and see if there's any other drips. And I looked at this gate valve here. It's a new gate valve that was installed, but the top of this nut here was dripping just a hair, and this white line that goes up to the sink where I tightened it up before, that's an old line. It's probably, you know, 8 or 9 years old, and that was dripping, and I've tightened that up, and I don't think I can tighten it anymore. I even put Teflon tape on it. And if you get something like this, and if it's still slightly dripping, might be time to replace that line. You know, get another one at the store. Because sometimes you just can't fix them. But in this case, I've tightened this up a little bit more. I'm checking it out right now, and I think I got it. But if it's going to drip anymore, you know, I'll let it run for another 5 minutes or so, the water. And if that has even an inkling of dripping, I'm going to get a new line. The next line I get, I might get a silver braided one. This is a white line one, and they got this one and a braided silver one. The braided one costs, you know, a few dollars more than this style, but I just like using those better. This is a little bit less expensive line that you can buy at the store. Here's one for the hot water line. That one seems to be fine, you know. But this other one, you know, they go out after a while. There's only so tight that you can make these, and there's little bushings inside, little rubber end gasket piece that's connected onto the pipe down there by that small little nut. And sometimes that has a tendency of going out, and in this case it's just about done. I think if it's not going to leak anymore, I'm going to call it good. But you know, check those lines out when you're underneath the sink before you call it good. That's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.